Where would I be without you? I don't know. I just don't know. Where would I be without you? How could I live without you? I'd be so lost without you. Where would I be without you? Where would I be without you? Where would I be without you? How can I live? How can I live without you? Where would I be without you? It's so simple, let's raise it up, say, where would I be without you? Say, where would I be without you? Always have to say, where would I be without you? You make my world go round. You make my world go round. When it works upside down.
The internet did not expect church to turn into a full-blown viral moment, but here we are, because somehow, someway, Chrisean Tesehki's sister Terrine, the one now being called the Anointed One, just flipped a peaceful praise session into the most talked about moment online. And no, this wasn't your usual quiet, sit-down, hymn-singing Sunday. This felt like a crossover episode between a revival, a reality show, and a viral TikTok storm, all happening at 1 minute. It's church, calm, spiritual, focused, next minute, boom dancing, energy, movement, and a whole wave of reactions flooding the timeline faster than people could even process what they were watching, and suddenly everyone had an opinion. Not a thought, an opinion, because let's be honest, the internet does not know how to act when faith and viral energy collide. Some people were praising the moment like, yes, let the spirit move. Others were side-eyeing like, wait, are we in church or filming a Zeus episode? The divide was immediate, loud, and borderline chaotic. And right in the center of it all, Terrine, moving like she had something to prove, something to express, something deeper than just a viral moment, and standing right there in the same energy field. Chrisean, whose name alone already carries enough internet history to turn a Yan situation into headline news within seconds. Now here's where it gets interesting, because this wasn't just about dancing. Oh no, this became a full-blown debate about faith, expression, respect, authenticity, and whether this moment was powerful or performative. And once that conversation started, there was nitrogen monoxide stopping it. Clips started spreading like wildfire, edits, slow-motion replays, reaction videos, think pieces. The internet basically turned into a courtroom where everybody became a judge, jury, and commentator all at the same time. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. This wasn't just a random viral clip. This moment, it connected to a much bigger story, one filled with past drama, complicated relationships, public perception, and a history that refuses to stay in the past. Because when Chrisean's name enters any environment, it doesn't stay quiet for long. And when you add family dynamics, spiritual spaces, and viral energy into the mix, you don't just get a moment, you get a full-blown situation. And trust me, what really happened behind this anointed Moment and how it spiraled into something way bigger than a church dance is about to take this story from viral to unforgettable, because not everybody saw this as a blessing, and that's where the real chaos begins to really understand why this moment exploded the way it did. You have to rewind because this wasn't just about a church dance going viral overnight. This was a collision of history, personalities, and a timeline that was already loaded with tension before a single step was even taken. And the moment Chrisean Rock walked into that space, the energy, it was already charged. Let's be real, Chrisean doesn't enter rooms quietly. Whether it's music, reality TV, or social media, her presence alone carries a reputation. People don't just watch, they anticipate. They expect something unexpected, and that expectation, it followed her right into a place that usually operates on calm, reflection, and spiritual focus. Now add Terrine into the equation, Tesehki's sister, now being labeled the Anointed One, not a random background figure, not someone the internet ignores. This is someone stepping into the spotlight with confidence, expression, and a whole lot of attention, whether she asked for it or not. And the second her movement started catching eyes, the narrative began forming in real time. Because here's the thing, church isn't just a location, it's a symbol. A space people associate with respect, structure, and certain expectations. So when something outside the norm happens in that setting, the reaction isn't just curiosity, it's amplified. Every movement feels bigger. Every gesture gets analyzed. Every second gets turned into a statement. And that's exactly what happened. The clip didn't just circulate, it spread fast. One repost turned into 10, 10 turned into 100. Suddenly, people who weren't even looking for the video were seeing it pop up on their timelines like, wait, what is going on here? Then came the interpretations, because the internet never watches anything at face value. Oh no, everybody becomes an expert instantly. Some viewers saw passion, calling it a powerful expression of faith. Others, they saw performance, questioning whether the moment crossed a line, and just like that, sides were formed. Meanwhile, the background context started creeping in. Because people weren't just watching Terrine dance, they were watching everything through the lens of Chrisean's past. And let's not pretend that past is quiet. Her history with public drama, emotional moments, and viral controversies created a filter that colored how people interpreted this moment. Suddenly, it wasn't just about what was happening in the church. It was about everything that happened before the church. Old clips resurfaced. Previous headlines got dragged back into the conversation. And the narrative shifted from look at this moment to look at this pattern. And then came the family layer. Because anytime siblings are involved, the dynamics get deeper. Tesehki's name started popping up again, not because she was in the video, but because her connection to Terrine added another level of curiosity. People began asking questions. What does she think? Is this supported? Is there tension? The speculation non-stop. At the same time, something else was happening quietly but powerfully. The audience started projecting. Some people saw authenticity and felt inspired. Others saw chaos and felt uncomfortable. And both sides, they were LOUD about it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The clip itself wasn't long. It wasn't a full documentary. It wasn't a detailed explanation. It was a moment. And yet, that moment carried enough weight to spark a full-blown internet debate. Why? Because it hit multiple nerves at once: faith, fame, family, public image, personal expression. It wasn't just one topic, it was all of them overlapping at the same time. And when that happens, the reaction multiplies. Meanwhile, the silence from those directly involved, that made things even louder. Because when people expect a response and don't get one, they start filling in the blanks themselves. Assumptions turn into theories, theories turn into facts in the comment section. And before you know it, the narrative takes on a life of its own. And let's not ignore the timing, because timing is everything. This didn't happen in a quiet period. It happened when people were already watching closely, already paying attention. already waiting for the next headline. So when this dropped, it didn't just land, it detonated. And now, the situation isn't just a viral clip anymore. It's a conversation, a debate, a full-on spectacle that's pulling in opinions from every direction. And the more people talk about it, the bigger it gets. But trust me, this is just the build-up. Because what happens next, how the reactions escalate, how the internet turns this into something even more chaotic, and how new voices jump into the conversation is where things go from viral to completely out of control. And just when you thought the situation might calm down, it did the exact opposite. It exploded. Because the moment that clip hit peak visibility, the internet didn't just react, it turned into a full-blown arena where every opinion came out swinging like it was the main event. First came the memes. And listen, the memes were brutal. People were editing the clip into everything from choir remixes to full-on reality show intros. Somebody even turned the moment into a Zeus Network trailer, complete with dramatic sound effects and fake subtitles. And just like that, what started as a spiritual setting got rebranded into viral entertainment in record time. But here's where it got messy, because while some people were laughing, others were not amused. Conversations started shifting from jokes to serious debates. And suddenly the question wasn't, did you see this? It became, is this okay? And that's when things got divided fast. Some viewers defended the moment, saying faith isn't supposed to be stiff and silent. They argued that expression, movement, and energy can all be part of praise. They were like, why are y'all acting like joy in church is a crime? And honestly, that side was loud. But on the flip side, the critics came in with full force. They weren't just side-eyeing, they were analyzing everything. The setting, the movements, the vibe, the timing. To them, it didn't feel like a moment of worship. It felt like a performance. And once that word performance entered the chat, the conversation took a whole different turn. Because now, it wasn't just about Terrine anymore. It circled right back to Chrisean Rock. People started connecting dots that may or may not even exist, saying things like, anywhere she goes, it turns into a show. Fair or not, that narrative started spreading fast. And then came the reaction videos. Oh yes, the reaction videos took this to another level. Content creators were pausing every second of the clip like it was a crime scene breakdown. Look at this moment here. Pause, did you catch that? Rewind, what was that energy? It felt less like commentary and more like a full investigation. Meanwhile, the comparisons went absolutely wild. People started saying this felt like a crossover between the Kardashians, WWE, and a church revival, all happening at the same time. One comment literally said, "This is giving Sunday service meets reality TV finale." And honestly, the internet ran with that. But here's where the contradictions really started piling up. Because while some people were calling it too much, others were digging up clips of similar moments in churches, moments where people danced, shouted, expressed themselves, and asking, so why is this one different? And just like that, the debate got deeper. Was it about the act itself or the people involved? That question, it shook the conversation. Because the truth is, if this same moment happened without cameras, without viral attention, without recognizable faces, would it even be a problem? Or would it just be another expression of faith that nobody questioned? And suddenly, the focus shifted from the dance to the spotlight. At the same time, whispers started circulating unconfirmed. Messy, typical internet chaos. People started speculating about intentions. Was this planned? Was it genuine? Was it for attention? No proof, no confirmation. Just theories flying around like confetti at a concert. And let's not forget the role of family dynamics again, because once Terrine's name went viral, it automatically pulled Tesehki back into the conversation indirectly. People began connecting personalities, comparing energies, and asking whether this moment reflected something bigger within that circle. Then came the fatigue, but not the kind that makes people log off. Oh no, the kind that makes people say, I'm tired of this, but let me keep watching. Because that's the thing about viral chaos, you can complain about it all day, but you're still refreshing the page to see what happens next. And just when it seemed like the conversation had reached its peak, something subtle shifted. The tone changed, the jokes slowed down, the debates got quieter, but heavier. Because people started realizing this wasn't just a funny viral moment anymore, it was something that touched on deeper issues: public image, faith, authenticity, boundaries, all of it wrapped into one situation that nobody could fully agree on. And that's when you know it's not just viral, it's impactful. But don't get comfortable. Because while the internet is still trying to process everything, there's something brewing behind the scenes, something that hasn't fully surfaced yet. Because in situations like this, the loudest moment is never the final moment. And trust me, the aftermath of this, the emotional shifts, the unexpected reactions, and the twist that nobody saw coming, it's about to take this story from controversial to completely unforgettable. And people thought the conversation might slowly fade into the background like yesterday's viral moment. The aftermath hit, and it didn't whisper, it roared. Because what started as a clip turned into a ripple effect that touched reputations, relationships, and the way people viewed everybody involved. First came the emotional shift, and you could feel it. The jokes started slowing down, the memes weren't hitting the same, and suddenly the energy online felt heavier. Not quiet, just different. Because once the laughter fades, that's when people start thinking, and they were thinking hard about what they just witnessed. For Chrisean Rock, this moment didn't just pass by like another viral headline, it attached itself to her narrative. And that narrative, it's already layered, already complex, already under constant scrutiny. So when this situation unfolded, it didn't exist alone, it stacked on top of everything that came before it. People started asking bigger questions. Not just was that appropriate, but what does this say about her journey? Some viewers saw growth, saying she's stepping into a different space, embracing something spiritual. Others, they weren't convinced, saying the same chaos just found a new setting. And that divide, it got sharper. Meanwhile, Terrine, the so-called anointed one, found herself in a spotlight she probably didn't expect to hit this hard. Because it's one thing to express yourself in a moment. It's another thing for that moment to get dissected by millions of people who don't know you personally, but suddenly feel qualified to judge your intentions. Every movement she made in that clip got analyzed like it was a final exam. People debated her energy, her purpose, her authenticity, and while some praised her boldly, others questioned her loudly. It was admiration and criticism colliding at the same time, and neither side was backing down. Then came the ripple effect on family dynamics. Because once again, the internet pulled Tesehki into the narrative without her even needing to say a word. Her connection to Terrine turned into a talking point. And suddenly people were speculating about perspectives, support, and behind the scenes reactions that nobody could actually confirm. And here's the wild part. Even without direct responses, the silence from everyone involved became part of the story. Because in viral situations, silence isn't empty, it's loud. People interpret it, analyze it, and build entire theories around it. Why hasn't she spoken? Is this intentional? Is something bigger going on? Speculation became its own storyline. At the same time, something unexpected started happening. The conversation began shifting from individuals to impact. People started reflecting on how quickly a private or semi-private moment can turn into a global debate. One clip, one angle, one interpretation, and suddenly millions of people are forming opinions like they were there in person. It raised uncomfortable questions about boundaries, about how the internet consumes moments, about how quickly context gets lost when something becomes viral. And for a brief moment, it felt like the audience was looking in the mirror, realizing they're part of the machine that turns moments into controversies. But of course, this wouldn't be a true finale without one more twist, because just when it felt like the conversation had reached a thoughtful, reflective place, boom, new whispers started circulating again. Subtle hints, new sightings, tiny details that might mean nothing or might mean everything, and instantly, the calm turned back into curiosity. Wait, did you see that? Is that connected? Hold on, this might not be over. And just like that, the story refused to close because the truth is, this wasn't just about a dance. It wasn't just about a moment in church. It became a symbol of something bigger: how public figures navigate personal spaces, how the internet reacts to authenticity, and how quickly narratives can be created, twisted, and amplified. And now, the future of this situation feels wide open. Will there be responses? Will there be clarifications? Or will this moment simply fade, only to resurface later in a completely different context? Nobody knows. But one thing is certain, this didn't end cleanly. It didn't wrap up with a neat conclusion. It left questions hanging in the air, like the final scene of a show that cuts to black right before revealing the truth. And that's what makes it unforgettable, because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't the ones with clear endings. They're the ones that leave you wondering what really happened behind the scenes and what might happen next. And if history has taught us anything about moments like this, it's that the next chapter doesn't wait long. It's already forming. And when it drops, oh, the internet is going to lose IT all over again. Now listen, if you made it all the way through this level of chaos, analysis, and internet madness, then you're officially part of the Fame Flaws family, because not everybody can handle this kind of drama breakdown and without tapping out halfway through. So, I need you to drop your honest opinion right now. No filters, no safe answers. Was this a genuine moment of praise, or did it feel like something else entirely? And don't just say yes or no. I want details, because the comment section, that's where the real debates happen. And let's be real, the internet is still trying to figure this out. So if you've got a theory, a perspective, or even a wild guess that might actually make sense, this is your time to shine. Don't be shy, drop it below, and let's see who's thinking 2 steps ahead of everybody else. Also, don't just sit there watching silently like you're in the audience of a reality show. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe like you're locking into the next episode of Unpredictable Chaos. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss when the next twist hits, because you know it's coming. We don't just talk about viral moments. We break them down, flip them inside out, and give you the full picture with zero boring energy. So if you want more drama, more analysis, and more moments that make you say, "What did I just watch?" you already know where to be. Stay tuned, stay loud, and stay ready, because the next story is already loading. This is Fame Flaws, and trust me, we're just getting started.